And here, white played a move that gave me a momentary heart attack. Wait, no, I'm gonna get mated. What's going on? I sort of panicked. My chess champions, welcome back to another game. Before we hop into today's game, I have a little bit of housekeeping updates for you guys. So it's been a little bit, maybe a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, I don't know, since my last video. I've been a little inconsistent, and the reason for that is actually good news this time. So for those who follow the channel, you know I've been recovering from chronic fatigue syndrome for the last several years. I finally kind of made what I would consider a bit of a breakthrough, and I'm starting to feel a bit better. What that means for these videos, though, is lately now all I want to do is get outside and get out of my house and go do things, go for long walks and stuff. So the next month or two, there might be a lot of that and maybe fewer videos, I'm not sure. But yeah, overall, this is great news because once I feel better, like, you know, fully better or close to it, I can make more videos and make more of the like educational stuff, the educational content that I want to make as well, which I've kind of been putting off for a while. So overall, this is great news for the channel if you guys enjoy what I've been doing here. I'm going to do like a quick 1 minute thing on what helped me in case any of you guys know someone who's recovering from chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS. You can skip this part if it doesn't apply, but maybe a year from now or something, you guys might meet someone or a friend of a friend. And remember this video, remember the book I'm going to mention, or you could always message me and I'll write you back and tell you what helped me. So the book, I mean, I've been doing a lot of work on my recovery the last several months in particular since the new year. And I think a lot of that set like a really good groundwork, but I started reading this book like 2 or 3 weeks ago called Breaking Free by Jan Rothney. And it's just been absolutely transformational, incredible book, just like incredible summary of so much of the things that work and don't work for chronic fatigue syndrome recovery, which is very complicated and confusing. And yeah, so much of that book really lines up with what's worked for me in the past. And then also it's helped me get rid of the fear around activity that had kind of been drilled into me, even from some recovery programs. Like there's some information out there that's like well-intentioned, but can kind of drive a lot of fear. So like really restricting your movements and trying to stay in a really consistent zone every single day. Like it sounds good on paper, but oftentimes it just creates more fear where you're afraid to do everyday activities. Like everything you do, every moment of the day, you're assessing as like, oh, is this going to be too much? Oh, is that going to be too much? And that's not the mode that you want to be in to recover. So yeah, the book is Breaking Free by Jan Rothney. And I came across that book through a Facebook group it's like 2,000 people, and it's like people recovering from CFS reviewing like recovery programs and that sort of thing. So, and that was kind of like one of the top programs, is one that's run by Jan Rothney, the author. It's called Reset to Thrive. So I haven't done the recovery program. I'm sure it's amazing. But yeah, I was considering it and I was like, well, maybe I should just read her book first. Let me check her out, you know? And this book might get me all the way there. So that's some hope for anyone. You know, if you know anyone who's recovering from this, I'm happy to, share any more stuff in comments if you guys ever want to. But yeah, I felt I need to do a little PSA just in case someone might know someone out there who's struggling, because it is a very confusing illness. Doctors are basically useless on it. They don't know. I've basically gotten zero useful advice from doctors, unfortunately. They help me rule out everything else. But yeah, in terms of actually recovering, this book, as far as I'm concerned, is the answer. So there's some hope for you guys and some hope for me. So let's get back to chess. So today, this is a really fun blitz game I just played today. I also have a different game from a couple weeks ago that I've been itching to show you guys, but I'm going to save that for a future video. This was a really fun one, and I'm going to have you guys find some key moves in certain moments of this game that I think were very instructional and fun and amazing. So let's go. All right, we are black. We are 1680. Opponent is almost 1750. Pretty strong. Let's see what happens. King's Pawn. Lately, I've been dabbling with King's Pawn for years and years. I've only played Sicilian Defense, but I've kind of wanted to see what people at my level throw at this, so been experimenting. Bishop out, knight out, hitting their pawn. They go knight out defending, knight c6, bishop back. I really don't like this move. Seems inefficient. You know, yeah, get this pawn out, get this bishop out, get the knight out. I don't see the value of this personally. And here I wanted to kind of set up like a reverse Roy Lopez sort of. I don't know if this makes sense logically though, because after d3, there's not really a real threat. So the threat sort of is to take the knight and then take the pawn, but yeah, it doesn't work after this. Opponent plays d3. Here I went h6 because I wanted to prevent this pin. This is almost what I would consider like a forever pin where I can't relieve the pressure. I kind of can because I could bring the bishop back, but I'm planning to go d3. So yeah, I wanted to prevent the forever pin, as I call it. Opponent goes knight f3. Here I go d6, opening up a slot for the bishop and creating a pawn chain. Bishop d2, bishop g4. I'm practicing calling out the moves, so have some grace with me on that if I mispronounce or if I say the wrong one, but I'm trying to get better at it. So yeah, bishop g4. Now this is a forever pin, and this is going to be a problem for white. I mean, they maybe have to like fully send it here because they don't have a bishop that can relieve the pressure, and they don't have a knight that can come defend this knight. I'm missing my clicks a lot today. I'm very excited to record a video. It's been a while. Okay, so yeah, I have a nice strong forever pin. Opponent castles. Probably not the move. Yeah, I mean, I think they probably had to, let's just go back a step. I think they probably had to go like here and then maybe this at some point, maybe not right away, but at some point, yeah, computer says this is a good move. Just this pin was just too strong. And they could castle queenside later on. You could maybe castle kingside, usually not advised when these pawns are advanced like this, but yeah, and you could even just live in the middle for a while and then late in the game decide which way you want to go when the time arises. So that would have been better in my opinion. Opponent castles. Now, what do you guys want to play here to take advantage of the weaknesses in our opponent's position? 10 seconds. All right, so I played knight to d4, adding pressure to the pinned piece. Oftentimes when you have a pinned piece, you want to attack it. So adding pressure, and I don't know why my opponent did this move. Again, not really making sense. Their position just, I mean, it does kind of suck. So, or it's, you know, it's uncomfortable. I shouldn't say it sucks, but yeah, it's uncomfortable. So we take, they have to recapture with the pawn. Otherwise, yeah, they can't recapture this way, obviously, because bishop takes. And here I went bishop into h3, hitting the rook and creating some potential long-term, maybe mating threat ideas. This is often very strong if you can get a bishop here on h3. Computer says it was better just to come back and keep tension on this and on the queen, which makes some sense. I'm not sure what the plan would be there, though. Like, I guess maybe you could go like knight back and then like queen f6 at some point, something like that, and then plan to bring the knight out. I don't know. Okay, play continues. Rook to e1. Now here, I want you guys to find a move I played here. I'll give you 10 seconds. How do you keep adding the pressure? Because I mean, the white king is very exposed. Our bishop is here. All of white's pieces are separated from the king side. So how can you ramp up the pressure? I'll give you 10 seconds. So the move I played in the game, knight to h5 with two ideas. Number one, I wanted to enable the queen to get into the action. So that's my immediate plan. Number two, though, you have to calculate, because if they push this pawn, the knight is hanging. So then where are you going to move the knight? So I looked at that and I realized if they push, I can take. If they take, we take. It's fine. And then I still have the queen ready to jump in. So that is actually what happened in the game. They went f4. I played knight takes right away. Computer found queen h4, which I agree would have been even stronger. Just get the queen in the action right away, basically. Computer doesn't like this, but I don't quite see why. I mean, oh wow, there's like some sacrifice ideas. Oh wow, so okay, they have sacrifice, takes, check. Look at that. Scooping up my bishop. Wow, that would have been pretty strong. Luckily, the opponent did not see that one. Okay, so opponent plays queen to f3. Now, what do you guys play to ramp up the pressure? You have 5 seconds. Let's throw in a check. Opponents almost made it. Only move, basically. They can't block with the queen on any of these squares because pawn controls. So yeah, we have a really dominant position here. King to h1. This is maybe threatening to bring the rook over to this file and kind of defend. So you can't give white any time to play rook g1. So you guys have to keep finding strong moves here. So I'll give you 10 seconds. What do you play as black? So I played bishop to g4, hitting the queen, forcing the queen off the f3 square. It's kind of hard to find a square for the white queen. I think literally the only square is queen g2. That's the only safe square for the queen. And now, how do you guys follow it up? I will give you another 10 seconds. So it'd be nice if we could maybe get some sort of skewer tactic on the queen. Maybe you're thinking you want to push the pawn. The problem is the queen can just come up and there's kind of, no, you've kind of let the tension go a little bit. So the move I played in the game, queen to h5, threatening the skewer. They can't push because we can just take and the skewer is still there. So really tricky now for white. What would you guys play as white here? I'll give you a few seconds because, yeah, it's not so easy. How do you get out of this threat? And now my opponent played what I thought was the best move, which was king to g1. Computer found knight in. Maybe there's some counter threat ideas. I'm not sure. So there's no more skewer. So if you do this, queen can maybe just come back. If you do this, queen maybe just comes up. So what do you guys play here now to keep adding the pressure onto the opponent? So I played bishop h3, which the computer agreed was the best move. And the idea with this is the queen is almost trapped. So the queen can go all the way back to the corner, which actually doesn't work, or the queen can come in. So if queen back to the corner, then we have check. Queen would have to block, and then we have mate. So let me show you guys that. If you do this, you're getting checkmated because our bishop is totally locking in the white king, and it's game over. So you don't want to do that. So white is going to play queen takes g7, and I calculated this before I played this move. And now you need to find another follow-up to keep attacking the white king. You don't want to give them any moment to breathe. What do you play here? So the move I played here was castles queenside. The computer found an even better move here, which I'm not going to show you because it's going to come up in a second in the game. But I thought this was really strong thematically. So getting the king to safety, bringing this rook into the game, defending this rook, threatening to skewer or pin the queen to the king. Really strong move to finish the development. So from here, it looks like white's queen is about to get trapped. And it looks like we're going to maybe get a quick checkmate on white. But there's one defensive resource here for white. What would you guys play as white in this position? So they played bishop takes f7. Very strong move, attacking our queen, also defending against these pinning ideas. So you can't go here now because bishop takes. So I also considered in this position maybe a queen sack. Doesn't quite work though, because after queen takes, I was looking at check, maybe like check, but then in this position, I didn't see the finish. So you could throw in like some sort of check like this, but yeah, it just doesn't quite work. So you have to find a different move here. And I decided to just get the queen calmly to a safe square And there are two options. So you could go queen f3 or you could go queen h4. Queen h4, I didn't see an actual threat. You might be able to like go here and then you have some threats like this, but I should practice calling it out. So after queen h4, you might be able to go bishop c5 with threats of queen takes f2. I'm getting better, guys, see? But it didn't feel as immediate as queen to f3. Now, we really have a clamp here. This forces the white queen to stay on this file always to defend against this mate. It also locks in this pawn and just kind of like locks out all of white's pieces. Notice that white also can't come attack us here because of this pawn's control. This pawn was the unsung hero of this game. What a champ. And now, white plays knight in, attacking our bishop. So, I realized that my bishop was hanging. I actually didn't see that I could take this rook. That's probably a good move. Actually, let's check. What does computer say? Yeah, okay, computer says that was a good move. But the best move, there's an even better move in this position, and one that I would consider a brilliant move. So let me give you guys a little bit of context. So I've been trying to set up some sort of tactic. You know, queen is on the same file as the king. The queen is also tied down to defending the square. We want to find a way to exploit the fact that those dependencies exist in this position. How do you add pressure and tension? I'll give you 10 seconds. The move I found in the game, rook to h7. Absolutely insane move, skewering, not only hitting the queen cannot take because then we mate them. If the queen moves, I was planning rook takes bishop. Again, the queen cannot move because you're going to get taken here, right? So really crazy position. And here, white played a move that gave me a momentary heart attack. So they played bishop to e6 check. And I thought for a second I was getting mated. I was going to move my king and I realized, wait, no, I'm going to get mated. What's going on? And I sort of panicked. I only had 30 seconds on the clock, so, you know, clock was ticking here. But then I realized, oh, wait, no, I can take this bishop. So I took, and white took my rook. But the thing is, now that I have the bishop here, I have this check. And this is partly why I had to calculate this before I capture here, because if I didn't have this follow-up, then I don't think this would have really worked out for me. I think my attack might have lost steam. And as you can see, I'm down material here. But after these moves in the game, the opponent has to take the rook. Otherwise, they're simply getting mated, I believe. Yeah, if they go here, then it's mate. So yeah, they have to take. I recapture, but then I realized like a couple moves back also that like maybe they're back in the game because they're going to have this fork winning back my bishop. Now I had two squares to go with the king. Usually you want to move the king towards the center. Here that's probably slightly less accurate because after the knight captures your bishop, they would have maybe a check if your king was there. So that's why I went king to d8. Knight takes on g8. How do you guys follow this up now? As black, we're down 2 points of material, even though somehow we're the ones with the queen. So how are you guys going to finish out this game? First move, queen g4 check. Very natural move because number one, we're checking the king. Number two, we're forking the knight. The king has to move here. Opponent goes king to f1. Not the best move. They should have gone to the corner instead. We'll look at that in a second. What do you guys play now? 10 more seconds. And I had 13 seconds on the clock here, so realistic. The absolute soul-crushing move here is f3. It just locks down all of white's problems, and it's just game over here because of this bishop, actually. So if this bishop didn't exist, white could maybe move their rook over, and after like check, king would be able to move. They could check, and king could like come up to safety. But the fact that this bishop here prevents that, and if they try to block the bishop, which is what they did in the game, then queen to g2 is simply game over. So instead of this, white should have gone king to the corner. I probably would play like f3 here. They're going to bring like the rook over, but then, I might bring the bishop in, something like that. Computer says still bring the queen in, check. Oh yeah, actually this was probably stronger than like bishop c5, or what do they want? Oh yeah, you can also take here. Okay, so yeah, many ways to win here. You could check and then scoop up the knight as well. So yeah, it was still a dominant position, but this was just nighty night. So kind of a crazy one. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, comment below with any questions or anything you enjoyed. I'm really happy to be back making these video again. Hopefully you can tell how excited I was in this video. It feels really good. It's very fun. I love chess and I love sharing my games and the extent of my knowledge with you guys. So yeah, for the near future, I might be in and out, on and off, but my love of the game will ensue. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.